Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for joining us today. It's a very exciting day to meet all of you after a long wait for the AGM to happen from March, then April, then May, and now June. Uh, we will start our AGM right away. I would invite our chairperson to declare the meet open and also to share her thoughts on what BAA has done so far. Christine, can I hand over the proceeding to you for now?
Yes, you can. Can everybody hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So if anybody can't hear, what I will just ask is to make sure everybody please keeps their mics on mute. It helps everybody's. Audio. And if you are struggling to hear, then please put your video off because that will help your audio. So in 3 months, one of the biggest learnings is how to use Zoom. I think we're all now super pros at it. And I must say, it is a very, very, very good way to actually connect. And I can see we now have 37 people on the call, and I'm sure a few more will be joining us. So warm welcome to everybody. I'm sure it's warm enough outside, but I think we are luckily all sitting inside with some type of cooling. So that's good. And as Anshul said, this meeting, AGM, was supposed to happen in March. And then I think we were probably one of the first events to get totally sideswiped by the lockdown. And we took legal advice. So what we did was we just froze our election process, maintained status quo. And then we had to get, special guidance on whether or not we could do our AGM over a Zoom call. But as you know, many of the regulations and government rules are changing, so we are allowed to do it. So this is an official AGM, and just want to welcome all of you here again, and good to see so many members with us. The format of the AGM is we have a certain amount of protocol that we have to go through. I think you have all been sent the agenda and the process. We need to go through, ratify certain meetings. If anybody has a question, you can just use the raise your hand button or raise your hand like that on the screen, and somebody from the GS office will take your question or write it in the chat. So it's been it's been 2 years and 2 and a bit years due to lockdown that this governing body has been in the chair, and I have to say that it has been a fantastic journey. I've really enjoyed getting to know and working with our co-governing body members, and actually getting to know our member base. And really, what is the BAA here for? The BAA really, our main objective was to be a cohesive body to bring all buying agents together, and we are well on that way now. The second aim is to represent our industry to government, to lobby for our industry, and Anshul will be filling you in on what we've done. We have been very active in the last 2 years, and the really good news is that the BAA is now recognized by the Ministry of Textiles. We're recognized by the Ministry of Commerce. We're known in the Ministry of Finance. They actually call us and ask us for stuff. So that is a huge achievement. You know how long it takes to create a presence in the government, because we are a very young body. I mean, we are barely 4.5 years old. So we're babies. I mean, we're complete babies in the history of associations. I met somebody else the other day, and they said, "Oh, we're really young. We're only 6 years old." And I said, "We're even younger. We're just about at the walking stage." But I think thanks to our very active team, we have been able to really make a presence. And I think what's important is that we stand for consistency, and we stand for good behavior, and we stand for something that is worth standing for, which is a clean reputation in the market. So all the EPCs, we're engaging with them regularly, We, in fact, very recently were reached out to by Buying Agents Association in one of our neighboring countries. And perhaps we can talk about that a little bit more. So really, you know, 4 years seems like a long time to us, but in the history of associations, it is really just we're not past our infancy stage. So we need all of you, we need our members, and we need you all to come forward. So I wanted to use my few minutes now to actually say to all of you, you know, one of the important things that we need to do is we need to reach out and find more members. I'm sure all of you know 2 other buying agents who are not necessarily part of our association. We would like to know them. We would like to invite them to join. We would ask you all to help with this. And then what we want to do is we want to have more working groups and more committees, because it's only by having more people working together that we are able to achieve things. So Anshul has a fabulous presentation to make to talk about what it is that we have done. So I'm not going to go on too long about that. I'm sure you're all waiting for an update on GST. The update on GST is that we are absolutely known in every government office, and we are doing our utmost best to get our position on GST changed, and we believe it will happen. It is a question of time. As you can imagine, the last 3 months, we have been able to have a lot of meetings and discussions with the government. They've been very busy working on other things, which is you know, to be understood given the circumstances. But I think in the next few months, we are really going to be pushing forward on that. And I think there's a good chance that we will be able to get some relief there. That is our hope, and I can assure you that as long as we have breath in our lungs, we aren't going to be giving up. Anyway, I will let Anshul take this forward. All I would like to say is it's great to see you all, and we would really like to continue, whether we are in lockdown, semi-lockdown, or full operational runaround. This is an excellent way for us to actually meet easily. We all live in different parts of the country. Some of us are not even Delhi based. So we will be using Zoom or any other type of video call. I don't want to get into a conversation as to whether Zoom is good, bad, or indifferent, but let's put it this way: we need video calls. Zoom is exceptionally good because it is the only one that I have used so far that you can see this number of faces on a screen. So I would put it to you that while it works well and we don't hear from anybody that there is any security risk, that we can absolutely continue to use Zoom. There is no other video conferencing that allows such good visibility of members, and I think it's really nice to be able to see each other. So that's my take on that. Obviously, if it is proved that we should not be using it, or our government bans it, then we will find something else. At the moment, this is the best option, and we are making sure that we take all precautions. When we have meetings, you have to come in through the waiting room. So I think we're good to go on that, and we are able to, you know, preserve everybody's security. So as I said, welcome again, and I'm going to hand over the floor back to Anshul, who's going to take us forward through this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. We also have with us today Rakesh ji, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, who is one of our founder members and also the chairman of the first governing body for BAA. Rakesh ji, welcome. Rakesh ji, I'll
Thank you.
राकेश जी म्यूट हुआ हुआ है आपका फोन. Thank you.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. Rakesh ji, we would invite you to say a few words about your experience, because we've started the journey with your guidance. So we would like to have your views now, how you feel BA has been and what we've done so far.
Thank you, Anshul ji. Thank you, Mrs. Ray. Good evening, members of the buying fraternity, member of the executive committee governing body. I'm extremely delighted to be present among us today and see the entire buying fraternity. In fact, we have seen in a very, very short time BA grown by 10 times from the day of its formation. If you say in the language of associations, how that grow, normally first 5 years they are called the kids, the kindergarten. 5 to 15 years, then they come in the younger age, and then from 15 year onwards you can expect a result. But here I can see even in the kindergarten, they have, in fact, they have grown just in the first 5 years, and they have multiplied the number. The association was formed by like-minded people some time back. The day they decided, because it was just an informal talk, everybody felt that the presence of the buying agents are not felt on any fora. In fact, their issues are also not taken up. Their knowledge is also not shared among themselves. So some members whom we can say today, the founder members, about 10 members, started the BA, and just in a very short time today, we can say about 100 members or more than 100 members have joined. And the way you are, in fact, now coming forward, the way you are now going to the people, whatever number, maybe 50 or 100, I don't want to say the number as it is. Some of the members, others are also the, just they join your forum time to time. So they come over there. The most important part is that everybody is ready to associate with you. Your objectives are very clear. Your mandate is very clear. And the way forward is also very, very clear. And that is the reason I can say BA has a very clear agenda among us themselves. And the association is in fact going around the country, and even some of the activity they organize internationally too. And they were invited not only by all the associations in the length and breadth of the country, but also outside India. So big congratulations. Most important, I can say the organization become lucky if they have right people at the helm of the affair. Every member is right and every member is devoted. But you have to see that if the president and secretary and the governing body, the executive committee, if they are really committed to the mandate, then definitely that always deliver better. That way, Christian, I have seen the Anchal, Vishalji, and Rumaji, everybody I have seen, they are really working relentlessly. And in fact, they are associating themselves with all the associations. Even in the government sector, now you have entry. You have entry in the finance ministry. You have a seat in the committee of the Niti Aayog. Recently, I could read in the newspaper where the Christian was in one of the committee of the furniture project, which later on the Honorable Prime Minister announced as one of the core agenda of the furniture out of the 5 core sector. So I think a lot of issues are now being on issues we are contributing. The voice of the buying agents. Your work particularly very praiseworthy on the GST, the way you are working right now. The vendor association to keep the community strong. You are right now doing a lot of work together. That is there. And overall, I can say you are now leading from the front. And this is the way one association has to deliver and has to work. Keep it up. And I can say that if you should, if you grow with the same spirit, you may surpass even the lot of other established body. Definitely not EPCH, but a lot of established body. And the most important is EPCH is with you and will remain with you. And we are committed to strengthen you always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rakeshji. Indeed, always been motivating, and we continue to stay motivated when you say things like these. We are definitely going to work towards making this an even more successful show. I'm sure new members coming in today will add their own value to our system and bring in more newness. Thank you, Ji. Going forward, we'd like to take up the agenda points of the meeting today. Just to begin the details, today on the meeting, we have all the members of the governing body. We have our RO, Mr. Ankit Gupta. We also have our auditor, Mr. Priti Gupta, on our call in case any member wants to ask any questions. The first point on the agenda, and before I take that up, I would need somebody from the member community to be doing a raise of hand, although we would like, it would be preferred if you could use the raise hand button, because that makes it easy for us to identify the person, because we can't see everybody on the slide at the same time. So if you could raise hand, we need one person to raise hand to propose the agenda and one to ratify the agenda. I will go through the agenda points and I would request members to help us with proposal and ratifying the agenda. The first point of the agenda is to ratify the action taken report of the second AGM of the GB. Can I have somebody propose the agenda, please, from the, we have Mrs. Malik proposing the agenda. Can I have somebody please raise their hand for ratifying this agenda? Thank you, Rumaji. Sumit Chabra has ratified this agenda. Thank you. Thank you. We already had Sumit, so I'm going to lower their hands now, and we would request the members to please raise their hands for the next agenda points. The second agenda point is minutes of the second extraordinary general meeting, which was held on 14th of September 2019, be ratified by the members of the general body. I request somebody to please propose the agenda. Deepak, thank you. Can I have some member? Sumit has again ratified the agenda. Thank you, Sumit. The third agenda point is the action taken report of the second extraordinary general meeting held on 14th September be ratified by the members of the general body. I'm going to lower the hands first, please. I request somebody to propose the agenda, please. Indian Connection. Okay, we have Deepak and Manu already saying it. Deepak and Manu, thank you. For the fourth point on the agenda, it's about the financial matters. To receive, consider and adopt the annual report and audited statement of accounts for the previous year 2018-19, which was shared with all the members. I request one of our members to propose the agenda and one to ratify, please. Indian Connection, Sam Koka, okay, we've taken you as a proposer, and Deepak from Kanu Overseas to ratify. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to lower the hands, please. The fifth point on the agenda is to consider and sanction the budget estimates for the ensuing year. Can I request a member to propose and a member to ratify? Sumit and Sanjeev. Thank you. Appointment of the auditors for the ensuing year and to fix their remuneration. We request somebody to propose this agenda and somebody to ratify, please. Manoj has proposed the motion. Can one of the members please ratify? Sumit has ratified the motion. Thank you, Sumit. Finally, the most awaited point on our agenda today, to elect the executive members of the governing body of the society as specified. I request our RO, Mr. Ankit Gupta, to please come on and declare the results of the elections.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, and thank you.
Good evening, Ankit. Ankit, you're slightly, we can hear you slightly less. If you could increase the volume possibly.
Is it better now?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, once again, and thanks, Anchal. So, okay. So there were 3 contestants in category 1, which was Sanjay Khurana, Ms. Tania Bhatia, and Mr. Anil Jain. Right. So the results for, the winner for category 1 are Mr. Sanjay Khurana with 55 votes on the first position, and Ms. Tania Bhatia with 48 votes on the second position. Then in category 2, there were 2 contestants. One is Mr. Sanjeev Jain and one is Mr. Sarat Chandran Ramakrishnan. So, uh, so in category 2, the winner is Mr. Sanjeev Jain with 57 votes. Right?
Thank you so much, Ankit.
Yeah. And in the institutional member, Mr. Om Prakash Praladka from Handicraft and Carpet Sector Skill Council was the only member contesting, and he is the winner with 75 votes. Right. And in the founder member category, Ms. Ruma Malik has retired from the governing body, and someone will be nominated by the governing body until the next elections.
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you.
Most-
And thank you for all your help you have given to BAA despite the extremely long and extended elections that we've had this year. We've been dealing with this for 4 months now. So thank you for your entire support and for all your help in doing this.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Ankit. Congratulations, Sanjay ji, Tanya. Congratulations, Sanjeev. You're back on board officially as GB members. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners of the new election. We definitely have another GB meeting lined up just after this meeting at 6:45, where we would request Sanjay Khurana, Tanya Bhatia, and Sanjeev Jain, along with Praladka ji, who has been elected unopposed, to join us for the GB meeting for the decision of the office bearing committee. To take up the last point on the agenda, if there is any other matter that needs to be considered for the permission of the chair, then please propose. Christine, please go ahead.
Sorry, I did just want to add a point. I wanted to thank our runners-up, Mr. Anil Jain and Sarat Chandran, both for nominating, for standing for election. And I wanted to ask you both personally to please make sure that you become active members in our committees. We would like, the fact that you have come forward and stood, you're clearly interested in contributing to the governing body. So I would like to take this opportunity to say, please don't let that deter you from putting a big foot forward and taking up participation in a committee, because we really need your help. As Rakesh said, we have to get out of kindergarten and we have to get into at least standard. I want some double promotions and I want us all in standard 5 or standard 9. So please, if I could ask you to both jump on board and help us with that, it will really help us jump forward. So thank you, and look forward to interacting with you in the months to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine and Dean. Point very well made. Definitely, both Sarat and we had Anilji. We definitely are looking forward to your participation, Anilji. You have made certain promises. I'm going to make sure I follow up with you on keeping those promises to us. Great. After this, it is time for us to share what we've really done so far in terms of our work with BAA. Before I present to you what our entire GB team has done, since Ruma ji has to leave for another meeting, I would request her to share with us what she's done in the past year and what she proposes to do, even though she's not formally as a GB member, but as a founder member of the association, she'll stay on board with us, guiding us, so what she plans to do for the next year and what proposal she has. Ruma ji, please.
Thank you, everybody. It's a fantastic forum we have now. As a founder member, I must tell you that it gives me absolutely huge pride to have you all here. It's a huge, huge, huge pleasure. We didn't dream of this happening quite so soon when Christine and I first met, to do this and to put this all together. I've been leading the ethics committee, and there are various things we found along the way. One of the main things is that we are not a legal body. We do not have a legal mandate. So when problems come to us, we have both our hands tied behind our back. We have no jurisdiction over many actions that are brought to us by members or by the fraternity or vendors or whatever. We have therefore been looking at various situations, how we can solve this problem. And I'm very pleased to announce that
Ruma, you're mute.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You muted. You're back again. It's okay. We missed the last sentence.
Oh, somebody was calling, therefore, sorry. So we are very pleased to announce that Ms. Kadambari Puri, who's part of the Delhi Bar Association, she's part of India Bound. She has a lot of experience with international business, and she was part of our Rebooting Business webinar, those of you who saw it. She is willing to come on with her entire with the entire company to offer free consulting to our members. If you have problems, you can refer to her. She's also going to give us a lot of information about international business and risk mitigation to all our businesses, to best practices, to contracts, and so on and so forth. She will give this to us on a complimentary basis. And then if you have specific legal issues that you wish to take up with her, or arbitration that you wish her to engage with, then she can deal with you on a one-to-one. So we shall be, I hope the next GB shall take this forward. We shall be putting her proposal on the board, and we hope that the next GB should consider this and help our members, help the vendor fraternity look for easy legal solutions. We don't want to get into lengthy legal solutions, because that, is a very time consuming and expensive situation in the Indian context. But this we found was the best option for all our members and for the industry. So I hope all our members will take this opportunity, and I will present Ms. Puri and her proposal to the next GB whenever we shall meet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rumaji. Thanks a ton. We know that this is an interesting proposal, and I do think we should really consider it. Kristen, you have to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Ruma for finally being able to bring this to the table. I know she's been working on it for a very long time. As she rightly said, we are not a body with any judicial powers. We cannot censure people. We cannot do anything. And to be very honest, as an association, you don't go out and fight people's personal battles. All of us are business people in our own rights. When we have a problem, we can come to the association for a guidance. We can come to the association for advice. You cannot come to the association and ask the association to fight your battle. And I hope that everybody is super clear on this, because it's a very, very important point. There are certain lines that, as the BAA, we should not cross. And really, it's what is going to keep us strong is by making sure that our moral fundamentals are very, very clear, and that we do not use or abuse our good name ever, because then you lose your good name. But what has happened, there are periodically issues that come up. Somebody has a problem with something, whether it's a vendor, whether it's a customer, whether it's a buying agent. You know, we are a triangle. So there are three sides to every triangle, and there are three sides to every issue. And all the BAA can do and has been doing is to talk to the parties involved, to provide a place for discussion, for mediation. But we have no legal, teeth. What was lacking was somebody to give good legal advice. So this is absolutely fantastic news from Ruma, and I'm hoping that some of you who saw our webinar, Rebooting Your Business, Kadambari Puri was one of the people on that panel. She's subsequently been on a PhD CCI panel as well. No, she's very articulate. She's young. She understands both sides, and she works a lot in arbitration. So she is a good person for us to have. And the fact that she's offering us her services pro bono is fantastic news. Obviously, if you have to go to court, or your choice is to go to court, but I think she's the right person to be able to help you talk through your legal options. And as we all know, going to court here is not necessarily the swiftest way to find
the ideal situation.
Not an ideal situation. So thank you so much, Ruma. That is a brilliant gift to the association, and I'm sure we will all be able to use it. And I know that we will be ratifying this proposal in our GB meeting later. So thank you. And
I just wanted to leave this with the last line that please do not ask the BAA to take a stand when you have a problem. People come to us asking us to take a stand. And I would request all our members to understand that we are not able to do so. We are not the jury, we are not the judge. We can only talk, we can only try and mitigate the problem. We can try and understand or make people talk to us and come to a solution. But for us to take a stand, one against the other, is not possible. So I would request all our members to understand that.
Thank you, Ruma. Well put. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Rumaji. Thanks a ton. Thanks a ton for this. Okay, now it's time for me to share with you what we've done so far in our year gone by, a little bit also of what BA has done till date. So rather than on speaking too much, I will just majorly say that this year has been extremely active for us on 4 major fronts. Representations, as Rakesh ji very well said. GST has been obviously a major point on our agenda, continues to be so. The latest on GST is the CBIC is still waiting to make a decision, although everything looks in our favor. But our Babu department is probably going to take slightly longer in making the decision still. Be assured, your GST team is continuously working towards it. It's not that because it is COVID and things are on a slow-mo, we're not doing anything about it. We're still talking to people. We're still trying to figure out what next and how can we push things further. And the moment we have a decision, probably that will be the most ecstatic moment for the GST team and the GB more than anybody else, because we've been working for it for over 2.5 years. So nothing more important for us today is to get our GST resolved. Other than that, we've also obviously done a lot of other representations to the Government of India, which we will share with you in our representation, in our presentation just in a short while. The other things that we've definitely worked actively this year is to create BAA as the voice of the industry, voice of the buying agents who so far were not even an identified service community. So we've been, I would say, very, very strongly able to put our footprint forward, whereby each government department, every major chamber of commerce or industry, every supplier association knows exactly who BA is today. And they're all coming to us to see how we can connect. The most beautiful thing that has happened in this year is that all the EPCs, all the associations, they actually realize that BA together with them can do far more than they individually could because of working in isolation, whereas BA is working with everybody together. That has been a great achievement in bringing BA as a very strong body, and I would say as an apex body representing buying agents today. The third most important thing that we were working on, obviously, is what is closest to the current GB, which is knowledge sharing. We couldn't do our summits this year because of certain reasons, and then COVID hit, where we had actually planned a summit in February and March when we could not do it. Other than that, we did a lot of webinars, and I think there has been a brilliant information dissemination this year in terms of collateral-free export financing, in terms of softwares for our buying agents, exporter community, and different information and knowledge that we've shared over this entire year. Fourth, an important point for us, giving us significant visibility and a lot of mileage with different trade associations, different members, has been our events. We've had tremendous round at doing more than 60-65 events this year, if I put together everything. So it's been a great run for BA, really. I would now take you through a short video, which we've created to show you exactly what BA has done so far.
I'm not hearing any sound. Script is clear until there's no sound.
I was on mute.
Okay, it's working now.
So that was a little about what we've done so far in this year and about the trade fair events, the social events, the webinars, the representations, the industry tie-ups, everything that we've done so far. Can I now request our very, very competent and effective team who has been leading the show so far to come forward and share with the members as to what they've done and what essentially they propose to do going forward in the new term. Can I request Rohini ji and Nitin ji, our heads of the Knowledge Committee? Is Rohini ji here today? I think she's not been able to join in the meeting.
I don't see her.
No, she's not here.
I don't see Rohini or Nitin. He's
Nitin
stuck
ji
up.
got-
He's out of town as well, so he may have
Right.
internet issues.
Okay, okay. Going forward, can I request Sumit Chabra, we fondly call him Sam, from the PR committee. Sam, could you give us an update of what your plans are for the future? Sam? Sam, are you there on call with us? Ankit, could you just call up Sam and let him know we're waiting for him to come? So while Sam comes on, I would have to request Manoj from the website committee. Manoj,
Yeah.
could you give us an
Hi.
update on what's been done?
Hello,
and what-
everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. And I'm really honored to be part of such a strong and vibrant team. We don't realize that we all have strong power if we stay together. We have the ability to bring a lot of industries together. So as far as website committee and handling social media is concerned, I can give an update. When we were first formed, we had almost a very basic website, and we all thought that website is something which is needed in current scenario to reach out to people, to reach out to masses. So we all had put together, because BA, when it was found, had almost no money, to be very honest. We don't have the resources which organizations which are 5 or 10-year-old have. We are working on meager resources, and we all had to pull in money to do it. But we came up with a very good website, and in the last 6 months to a year, we have had a very good social media presence. I can share some numbers with you and give you some comparisons. We have 3,600 followers on LinkedIn, which is only like a year-old page for BAA, compared to FIO or EPCH, who have 8,000. FIO has 15,000, and EPCH has 8,000 now. Now, the numbers might sound less, but think about the amount of resources these organizations have compared to BA and the amount of time we have taken to reach it, with almost not spending any money. We all have pulled in resources from our in-house teams in our offices and try to do things which are required for BA. Going forward, we have plans to create the website to be a more user-friendly and more resourceful website for our members, for which we need to have more resources at our hand, and we have some budgets in plan. So in 2021, next half of the year, and 2021, we want to make our website even bigger, have more bandwidth, and add more resources for our members to utilize any day and every day. Like, they don't have to ask anybody any questions. Whatever resources we all need, we can just put on our website. We can give our members login and passwords. They can always log in and utilize those resources. So this is the plan. Obviously, we are very young, and like Rakesh ji said, we have achieved quite a lot in a very short span of time. I would say the span of time for this GB was just like 1.5 years or so. And I mean, in that span of time, what we have achieved with the meager resources at our hand is probably pretty good. Obviously, we have a lot to achieve, and we need all our members to be supportive and keep coming and come up with more ideas and suggest things that we can do. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. If I can just add what Manoj said, we need you to support, we need you to participate, not just suggest the
Yeah, yeah.
ideas, take it forward, because, you know, we're all working people. None of us have retired yet. So it is, you know, it's good to have a team, because if every committee has 3 people, then you can share the load. And it is actually all about load sharing and, you know, helping each other. So if we have strong groups, we can support each other and move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's so true. Unfortunately, our knowledge committee is not able to join us today. They have a bad connection. Nitinji's traveling and Rohini ji has a horrible connection. I just tried to connect with her. And Sam's internet, for some reason, has stopped working altogether. So he's not able to come back on call. He is on call, but he's not able to receive anything. So we'd have to send these updates to you later during our emailing days. Now, just to take the meeting forward, one of the things that we wanted to hear from our members is also what they would like us to do. They would like the new GB to do in the new term that starts from tomorrow, technically. So I would request members to really come share their thoughts, share with us today what really they feel is something that BA should be working towards. Are there any ideas where you feel that BA should be focusing on? Is there anything that you feel we should do better than what we've done in the past? Or any thought process that you'd like to share with us for today? I'd request members to raise their hands so that we can take one person individually, one by one. So can I request for suggestions and advice from our member body today? I'm not getting any responses, so it looks like we're doing a perfect job. Okay, so in case there is no further discussions, then Christine, may I request you to declare the meeting closed?
You can indeed. I thought maybe could you, Anshul, would you mind just sharing a little bit about some of the technology things? I think we have a little bit of time. I wanted to just share some of the ideas and what we're going to be taking forward. One of the things we are taking forward is we need a technology committee. I think Nitin is very good at that, but he needs some people to support him. I'll give a little intro and then Anshul will let you know what you're doing. We all know that the new world going forward is going to be very different from the world this time last year. You know, most of us would have been on our summer holidays. We'd have been having a couple of weeks off. We'd be in the mountains. We might be in Europe. We might be somewhere by the beach somewhere. Well, that all stopped on the 21st of March. And here we are in Delhi and not able to go anywhere. But what's happening is the world is changing very, very fast. So what is the needs of the new normal, as we keep talking about, and we keep hear people talking about? Well, technology, photography is essential now. If your customer can't go to a trade show, they still need product. We're still seeing sales. All of us have got businesses. It may be adjusted, it may be down, but there is business. We absolutely need to get technology. Our vendors need to use more technology, whether it's technology for photography, whether it's technology for product development. You know, and we all know that the apparel world is already far more advanced. One of our webinars, we saw some of the amazing technology, and I've been speaking to some of our apparel members. They are using 3D imaging for everything, from creating the sample up to fit approval. They're actually booking orders based on virtual product, and then they're sending final samples. They're sending swatches in the meantime so that the fabrics are approved. So this is a whole new world, and we all need to embrace it, and we need to look at technology. We had a fabulous session by Sarat on virtual inspections. This is the new name. I'm looking at my company saying, guys, what are we going to do differently? We don't need to have people running around here and there. We will still need to travel a bit, but our travel is going to be different because we can do so much online. We need our vendors to get a good, strong technological base. And as you've seen, BAA is reaching out to all the vendors. We have very close associations with all the exporter groups, whether it's Moradabad, whether it's Tirupur, whether it's Ludhiana, Bombay, Karur, Panipat. We are closely in touch with them, so we can reach out to vendors and tell them what they need as a group. So rather than all of us having to call the same guy, we can reach out to a whole group, and it's really, really important that we do that. So we want all of you, if you're seeing any technology being used, whether it's being used by your customers, whether it's being used by a vendor, please share it, and we will look into it. We're tying up with different technology companies, and then taking that knowledge out to our vendor base. So please, that is a really important thing. We already started. We need much, much more. We will promote as many companies as possible if we think there's value in it. And as you can see, virtual shows. I hope some of you managed to go to the 2 recent shows, IFJUS and Textiles. And on the 13th of July, we know EPCH is gearing up for the big show, the big Delhi show, the IHGF. Where everybody's going to be there, and they all need technology. So initially, about a month and a half ago, my teams in my office are like, oh my God, you better go and speak to those people in Moradabad. They are so closed. They're not interested in virtual shows. They think it's a waste of time. Well, guess what? I was on a call with them about 10 days ago, and it is such a change in their approach. They're interested. They're making videos. They're looking into what they can do, because this is the way to get your product out to your customer now. So we really do need to focus on that. I know the Canton Fair. Has anybody on this group been able to get onto the Canton Fair and see it? I don't know how to I had somebody try and log on, and we didn't have the right code. So if anybody can send, I want to just see what it looks like, because I think EPCH should be looking at that. We are talking to Apparel Export Promotion Council, because they were banking on magic happening in Las Vegas, but I'm not sure if that is going to be so. I was speaking to somebody in San Francisco today, and she said she doesn't see any of the shows happening. High Point, ? Even for October. So, there are other alternatives, there are other ways to engage with the customer and sell products. So that's what we are trying to do. So Anshul, if you could share a little bit here, I think that would be helpful.
Thank you, Christine. I would do so. However, we do also have Mr. Praladka raising his hands for quite some time. Praladka ji, would you like to come over and share with us before I take on the technology bit?
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Well, I have been a part of BAA. At the same time, I have also been as a representative from the industry. And I must compliment all of you. You all have been a very young organization, but a very passionate team. And all of you, as I have been observing, have been trying to put your best. And you all have been sharing the experiences what you all have. And especially Anchal and Christine, who have been putting in longer times, and all the other 2 ladies, Ruma and Rohini ji, Rumaji and Rohini ji, you all have done very excellent job. In addition to that, you see, to grow your exporter members or vendors, finance is very important. And Manoj ji has been very, very passionate. And he has conducted so many programs and very efficiently have connected the industry. And at EPCH also, we needed a lot of connectivity with the total buying agents community. And I am happy to acknowledge our communication between the BAA team and us has been very, very good, very communicative, and we have been able to make many of our initiatives bar friendly, our exporter members friendly, and make them more efficient. For example, we introduced a design register, and while formulating the total idea, BA team has been a big contributor to this initiative. Even the virtual fair, what we have introduced, BA team has been a very complementary partner and working together with us. And now I can say with proud, the second edition, which is still going on, we have learned a lot ourselves. and we have been able to perfect it at least to the 90% of the technology. Hello, are you here?
Hanji sir, Hanji.
Thank you, Mr. Praladkar. We can hear you.
And regarding the members' problem also, I think the members have been personally putting their time out of their business. It was a passion how to build this BA organization. And you all have done a very, very good job. And I hope the new team which comes over will respect whatever work this current team has done and will carry forward the mission what Christine has introduced, and the best practices what has been introduced in the buying community. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Praladkar. Thank you very much. Very nice words.
Thank you, Praladkar ji. In fact, we did miss on one of our committees update, which is the Trade Fair Committee update. Unfortunately, Michael's, for some reason, it's a day of losing internet connections. His internet connection is also just dropped. So if we can just wait for 2 minutes, I'm hoping that he'll be able to come on.
So maybe
Meanwhile,
you could fill in on
Yes.
Poly 9 and
Poly
maybe
9,
just what else we're looking at.
Sam also just said that his internet is having issues.
Yeah, he's having internet issues, yeah. So technology, as Christine shared, is a very important part of our today's life. Example being our virtual meeting today. We never thought we'd be doing AGMs virtually. Having said that, this is the time when we also see that technology is required in all the fields of our work today as well, where we are doing virtual inspections or creating virtual products. So one of the things that have been an extremely great hit and a huge demand by most of our members, we've been getting individual calls from so many members asking for Poly 9's details and what they've been doing. So the good news is we've signed an MOU with Poly 9, and a software which used to erstwhile cost around 3 lakh or so will now cost only about 25,000 upwards to our members. So that's a great achievement for BAA, where we've been able to reduce the cost significantly enough, because we know this is something that is going to be very, very lucrative for and very, very important for our members. You know, we spend so much of time and energy, as was shared earlier also, in making samples and making changes to samples once they are made. But the way Poly 9 software works, it will allow us to actually look at a 3D version of the sample before going into making a sampling, and allowing our customer to make a decision whether they even like the look of the sample that is going to come out. So that's one of the things that we've done. That's only one of the things, and eventually you'll start getting emails regarding technical trainings and the offers that will get rolled out. We are starting to work on it. In the next 1 week, you will get more information on this. Other than that, our team is also working on other technical softwares, which we feel are very, very important to our work life today. We introduced AxInt also to a lot of our members. We introduced a couple of other softwares. The Knowledge Committee is also working on looking at a lot of other new and improved versions. And it's not only on the product side, it's on every side, whether it is product or its inspections or its general working of our buying agencies, or even the improvement of working of our exporter bodies. So we are looking at work on a very holistic level, trying to see where we can get more input in terms of getting external help, because we're all working from home and we need to work differently today. So that's it from us on the technical side. Christine, would you like to add anything to that, or?
No, thank you, Anshul. That's perfect. I just wanted to get that out, but that we're looking for more. Our industry needs quick solutions. As I said, photography is going to be super important. If you're going to have a regular, have virtual shows, the photography, the videography has to be really, really good. So let's just keep exchanging ideas on that, and we will be putting together a team to work on it.
In fact, if any of our members today know softwares which they've used, they've tried, and they've been good for them, We would request you to come up and share that information if you feel that your peers can also use it and there is nothing proprietary about the software. We would request you to share that information with us as well. Moving on, we have Sam back in place. Sam, are you able to talk and see us now? Sam? Though he has joined the meeting, I believe he's still not able to hear us. Sam, are you here? Okay, so I think we just need to move on now. Christine, can I request you as a chairperson to please close the meeting?
Yes, I think if does anybody have anything else that they would like to contribute? Any other questions? Great. Well, just want to formally welcome the new committee members, and we'll see you at the GB meeting now. And thank you for those of you who've taken the time out. I know it's hard to find time now, but the days never seem to stop. I think we have more meetings and more calls now that we have technology. And I hope all of you have a great weekend. And let's hope for, I believe Muradabad is still struggling to get on its feet. Chennai got closed down this week as well. So let's hope that every week some more things open up, and let's look forward to seeing the COVID numbers start to at least flatten out in our country. At the moment, the increase is quite alarming, and until it flattens out, I think we're all going to be a little apprehensive about traveling out and about and going to places. So stay safe, have a wonderful weekend, and look forward to hearing from all of you soon.